You know, it had to be done. We had to jump into the Buffalo Sabres here with the talks between the EICHEL camp and the Sabres heating up to what they are. Goodness gracious, man. He's just, at this point, demanding, airing the dirty laundry of the Buffalo Sabres, and it is just not pretty what's going on over there. So, I was thinking about how to do this series because obviously the draft has happened, free agency's happened, there's been tons of moves that happened. However, there's not going to be a new roster update. To try to make the custom rosters doesn't really make sense because you're still starting in the past. Then I thought, okay, well, what if I did that thing where I add the expansion team and then choose to not, move all the contracts forward, so technically all the contracts would be correct when we started, but then it's the problem of getting the Kraken to draft a similar team to what they drafted and then make moves and grab people. It just there wasn't any great solution to make it as close to kind of what happened here in real life. So we're gonna have to kind of do what we did with the Oilers and go back in time. We're gonna use Rick's portal gun here. We're going to step back in time. Now, when the time comes, I will make a lot of these trades, at least to the teams that they're traded to. Like, I'll trade Risto to Philly, probably. I might get a bigger package back, giggity. And probably trade Nylander to Florida. But all the other stuff, I can't really help, right? You can't make people sign people. And quite frankly, with the custom roster deletion thing, I'm not going to spend hours upon hours trying to get the moves right, adjusting contracts and shit, just for them to possibly be deleted. So we're going to kind of go this route here and change a bit of history. Now, you guys can help me decide what we do in that regard, whether we just kind of sim through this entire year, then make trades, or just start blowing shit up right now. I don't know. We have a few options here. But I don't even know if we can make some of these trades. But anyway, now get out of here. We're going to check a look at this. We're also going to see if we need to make some changes to overalls here. Good God, this team. Oh, at least we know there'll be absolute shite in the sim. Well, we say that. So What the rule is, essentially, we have... Okay, I should address that. I thought I made that clear, but we have to trade Jack Eichel, obviously. He's demanding a trade. We have to trade Jack Eichel. So, again, we'll probably trade him, after the draft of next year at some point. Basically, we're going to sim through this first year with probably nothing really changed. That's what I'm thinking right now, unless you guys just want to go balls to the wall and start blowing it up right now and completely change history in that way. That's what I'll leave to you. Because this is such a weird situation, I wanted to get a bit of your guys' opinions. And obviously, Linus Ullmark will be... I hate to let this guy go, but I'm actually, but we could maybe trade him to Boston. Sign an extension, then trade him to Boston. I could do that. So I could at least make it partially realistic by making some trades. Like, I could sign this guy to a, 4x5 deal, and then trade him to Boston. I do that with Ullmark, and then all this other stuff. I could play Skinner on the top line, baby. We're gonna do it, try to get Skinner some fucking stat growth and get him, and trade him on that. I still cannot believe he signed for that. I still can't believe he got that contract. Granted, he had a great season, but holy shit. Oh, boy. Oh, Buffalo. At the very least, this guy's going to keep us over the cap floor, right? And then we can just keep trying to get him stat growth until we're able to move that freaking contract. If we even are able to move it. So, basically what had happened, Ristolainen was traded to Philly for like a first and, I forget exactly the package. I'll have to look it up. Reinhardt, I know, was traded to Florida for, I think, just a first. Which, on paper, here is pretty accurate. In real life, I feel like he could have got, like, a prospect back as well. But if you're in Buffalo's position, everyone knows you gotta sell. Everyone's gonna lower their price on you, especially now with Eichel. I can't believe it, man. There's no team that handled this more poorly than Buffalo, and I'm so sorry, Buffalo fans. Like, this is Jack Eichel, the man drafted behind Connor McDavid, and you haven't even made the playoffs. Granted, McDavid isn't having a greater time either. That Edmonton roster is woof. I can't believe it. Ken Holland is... why can't they get a good GM? Seriously. Well, anyway, all right, so... Well, let's take a look at the prospect. I mean, they gotta have some good stuff here, right? Well, the shit they've... What? This is it? Where's your prospects? For real. Oh yeah, we got UPL. That'll be good. We at least got UPL. So we kind of don't have to worry about a goalie, hopefully. What the hell, really? Where the F are your I guess Cousins and stuff. They're kind of all up here. Yeah, okay. Cousins, I might want to play him not in the NHL. Yeah, listen to depth piece. I think I'll send his ass down. So yeah, middle stat 70. Jesus, they're like all in these tenuous positions. I'll probably play a lot of them down. We'll probably do a lot of interesting stuff here. But yeah, taking a look here, what kind of changes, if any, do we make roster-wise? I will admit... Oh, wow, Bjork. I will admit that I'm not super educated on Buffalo, especially. I prefer not to torture myself by paying attention to this team, because you just honestly start feeling horrible for him. Remember Gergensons was like a top 10 pick? Oh, no, not quite. 14th overall still. Fourth liner in the first 15 picks of the draft. Big oof. Asplund. I mean, they got some not bad stuff here. But any changes that I don't know. Nothing's jumping out at me to make any potential or overall changes, really. Again, I'm not going to pretend I know a whole hell of a lot. But don't tell me Jokiharju should be like an elite or anything. I will ignore you because he was 29th overall. He's actually lucky to be a top 4 with the way EA does their drafts. So that's something I do kind of do, is when I am changing guys' potential or adding people, etc. so forth. In the past, at least, I will base their potential on scouting reports and then where they were drafted and kind of cross that with how EA generates the majority of the draft. So like if a guy's like, you know, behind the top 10, I'm not going to make him an elite. I'm simply not going to, because that's the people who show up beyond the top 10 most of the time, unless it's a very, very rarity, even after the top 5 for the most part, are like top 6s, top 4s, right? So that's kind of what I do. So make your requests, etc. within reason, obviously. And I will make adjustments if necessary. The one guy I'm not sure about is Reinhardt. I feel like he might be able to be a bit better, but I like where his offense is. Everything is actually kind of good where he's at. Like, how much better do you make this guy? Maybe potential-wise you change to like a medium elite. Because let's be real, he was a 2nd overall pick. So you try to like make him a medium elite, hoping that he grows maybe a bit more. But I also wonder how much does that affect his trade value as well. Because like, although, yeah, we are only maybe trading his rights. Anyway, so yeah, I'm looking at this kind of stuff. I don't really know. I don't know much about this Quinn guy. He was drafted in the top 10, however, in that 2020 draft, which, let's be real, it wasn't the strongest. So top 6 maybe is good enough for him, especially as how young he is. Can you really say he's going to be that much better? I don't know. I don't actually even remember the scouting report on him. So if you guys are seeing any names here, submit your requests for roster changes. I will do, you know, some slight editing here and there. Not too much, obviously, because of reasons mentioned, but I will take your opinions into account. And if you're a Buffalo fan, I will take your opinions with a bit more of a grain of salt, simply because, not anything against you, it's just we do have a tendency to overrate our own prospect pools, because we all want them to be great. So I'll cross-check that. I'll actually try to hit up JFresh and Top Down and see if I can get some analytics info on some of these guys. Which, by the way, if you guys have Twitter, number 1, follow me, assholes. Number 2, follow JFresh Hockey and Top Down Hockey. Dude, we're great dudes and great on the analytics department and rating prospects and players and such. They've been very awesome to follow this offseason so far. Anyway, so there we go. I think UPL, yeah, I think we got to keep him medium elite. I definitely think he's got a pretty damn good ceiling. I mean, a goalie drafted in the 2nd round should be a guy who's listed as elite because they should become a number 1, in my opinion. Goalies drafted in that 2nd round usually kind of make their way to number 1. Carolina and Jokovic. Why'd you trade him? Dumbasses. Fucking Carolina, dude. I can't believe what they did this offseason. Absolutely trash in so many ways. All right, so Oh, Dahlin. Does he have an extension yet? That's actually something I don't. I'll have to look that up. I feel like he should. I don't remember him getting signed, but I also don't remember any talk around, like, why haven't they signed Dahlin yet? Though, to be fair, I mean, that news probably got pushed to the back of the Buffalo. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to check. I'll have to check and see. There's a lot I don't know. Anyway, so rules-wise, everything gonna be pretty similar here. If you're looking for a realistic GM mode, you have come to the right place. I add elements of realism here, but I will never, ever seek until I do seek to make a completely realistic franchise mode. Number one, because everyone's definition of realism is completely different. Number two, after 3 years, your idea of realism, no matter what it is, goes completely out the window. 3 years ago, could you imagine Jack Eichel being traded? No. Rewind the clocks even more. 4 years ago, people were telling me there's no way Montreal trades Max Pacioretty. Not a chance in the world, Cyn. You're stupid. Guess what happened? There's, not a chance Carey Price will even be thinking about being moved. Well, they exposed him at the expansion draft. So, the thing is, it's that after a few years, what seems like a sure thing in the NHL right now simply doesn't matter. 3 years ago, Erik Karlsson, best defenseman in the NHL. Right now, not worth the $11.5 million he's making. Not even close, unless he starts to have a resurgence. Right? So it's just the idea of realism. It's all well and good, but you cannot predict what will happen in a couple years' time. You simply cannot. Right? So things change so quickly in this league, although they feel like they don't sometimes. They really do. I mean, so we do our best, and I do my best to add elements of realism that I can't control, but I'm not going to seek to make this overly realistic franchise mode simply because, yeah, it doesn't work, and it's, for me, it's not fun. I play a video game to make my own stories. I'm very much a fantasy lover, RP lover, and stuff like that. So when I jump into here, this is my fucking world. You guys are get to watch it, and I understand if it may not be your style, so I appreciate you stopping by, and this might not be for you, but I encourage you to stick around and see if you do like it. And if you guys do like it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment about how cool I am or about how much I suck and you hate me. I always love those ones. Those are my favorite ones to read. Seriously, no, they are. Because it's like, especially when it's like 20 episodes in, I'm like, man, you're just getting around to telling me this right now? It's amazing. Thank you so much for watching us so far. All right, so another thing, we will be adding in the predictions once again, and I'm going to have to try to do my best job of explaining the rules. So before each season, it'll be on the free agency video. So after free agency, after we get the line set up, you guys will make your predictions, and so it'll be like you'll choose one person who's going to lead the team in points, one person you think is going to lead the league in points, and then who you think the best goaltender of the league will be. Now, it's not based on who wins Vezina. It's basically a combination of stats between their save percentage, wins, or, what situation they were in, save percentage, goals against shutouts, etc., so forth. And we kind of choose one based on that. There can be ties. There has been quite a lot in that regard, because for goalies, it can be very, very close. And then, so, one of them has to be a forward and the other has to be a defenseman. Now, there is one exception to this rule. You can guess two forwards because the odds are greater. They cannot be the same person. They can be from the same team, however. So you could say, oh, I think, Ristel or Dahlin's going to lead the team in points while Jack Eichel's going to lead the league in points. You can 100% do that, but you can't guess like, I think Jack Eichel's going to lead the team and the league in points. Well, no crap. Because if he leads the team or the league in points, he's got to be leading the team in points. So, yeah, you cannot do that. And I think that's just about it for that. I think I explained it to the best of my ability. Now, there are some other pieces to move. Let's kind of look around. I wanted to check this and see what trade values are looking at and see if I do make some adjustments for certain trades. See what I would have to do to make some things work. And honestly, I'd consider moving out Middlestat maybe. I know he's not being moved in real life, although he's 70 overall, man. I would move him because he only got 70 face-offs. His awareness is low. I would 100% consider moving Casey Mittelstadt. He's 21. He's got, moving wall's value is kind of highish. So you can get a solid package back for that. I might move him at the draft, though, to kind of target someone. So again, we're not completely beholden to to the moves the Sabres made, but as I said, I will try to match a lot of what they did. Obviously, EICHEL will get moved, but I think we stick with him this first year. I don't want to also make us completely tank, although we should tank. I don't think Beniers is actually great in this, or like second overall. I can't remember. Plus, there's going to be a lot of newer guys in there. So Reinhardt, that should get us a Florida first, but I still think he should be moved up to medium elite. Ristolainen. What the hell did they get for? I cannot for. It's blanking me. I can't remember what the hell they got for Ristolainen. Anyway, I'll have to check back on that. But there's some guys that we can move. I like where Olofsson is. I think that's a fair rating for him. You could even argue it might be a bit high for him. I know he's a great goal scorer, but he is on a shit team. But I feel like he's just a pure goal scorer, and that's it. So I guess 85 is solid for him. Got another year on him with $3 million. Not too bad. So yeah, let's see. I mean, pretty much I'd be trading Mittelstadt for picks and stuff. So I don't know if I should be looking at possible package deals here. This is a bit. I was kind of in that Edmonton mode already, where it's like, all right, we're building around a couple, franchise pieces. Well, we're simply not here. We're actually blowing up the to be fair, we're building around Dahlin and maybe Cousins. I really am liking Cousins though. I don't know how he performs, but he can be center or a winger, and he's really, really solid. I'm really liking him. Oof. Chemistry doesn't look good. What does he like? He likes balance, energy, balance. Blah. Second liner, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? It depends on what happens at the draft. Speaking of drafts, I guess I should show the settings as well. So this is more of an intro video. This will be a bit, a bit shorter than a normal video. But I wanted to get your guys' opinion on, what we should do. But it's same rules as always. Fully healed, injury warnings, that's the best. Obviously, auto-rotate on. What the hell? Oh, there it is. So what I do is keep sim engine scoring on medium. I'm upping the draft class quality and generated prospect quality. It's just a lot more fun that way. It's just way, way more fun. Shot frequency is the same, obviously. Trade difficulty on hard. Morale meeting's off. That's the most important. Not forgetting it this time. Not having that bullshit pop up on me. And how I get the scoring to be equal while having goalies still have realistic stats is cranking up attribute effects to 10 out of 10. Injury settings down to 20 each, because I like injuries on, but I don't want them to completely overwhelm me all the time. And I think that's pretty much it. Obviously, Fog of War off, because unfortunately it's broken in this game. We will not be using the trade deadline minigame, because that, of course, is also broken. If you trade a roster player, it automatically best lines you. Like, there's so much potential here, and it's just terrible. So that's that. So now, we need to think about what we want to get back for Jack Eichel. Because here's the thing. We cannot trade him at this first draft. That's one rule I'm putting in there. We have to wait till after the draft to actually trade him. Because that's kind of what's lining up with reality right now. So, what do we want for him? I kind of don't want to just get a bunch of picks. And here's the thing. I also cannot trade him at the next draft. I want the draft, because he's demanding a trade. The trade has to be made between, basically in free agency or before the season starts. That's the rule. It has to be in the free agency period or before the season begins. So you almost need to trade him for prospects. Now we could see who gets drafted, see if there's anyone we want to target and use his value for. Absolutely. But is there any kind of feel like there's some can't miss prospects anywhere? Jesus criminy. Teams that have been rumored to be in the Jack Eichel sweepstakes. New York. So, I mean, you could go for a Capo Caco. I know New York's like, we don't want to trade. You don't want to trade anyone, New York, but you're going to have to if you want to get... You're not going to be able to trade, like, Kravtsov, Hedl, and, like, another dude plus a first to get... I mean, you might, but to get Eichel, you might have to give up someone like Capo Caco. Here's the question. Do we want someone like Capo Caco? Winger, playmaker? Meh. That's a question mark. Depends on what we're able to get. We do have the center power forward. You need another winger sniper to make a line like that work. That's an option. But any sort of deal we want from, here's the thing, they don't want to give him up. So it's kind of nuts, right? I think you know, Eichel's not a fucking franchise, is he? Yo, he's a medium elite. That's okay. No, he's being changed to a franchise. I'm sorry, it's bullshit. He's a franchise, or at least a high elite. Okay, that's another thing. I gotta get. Is Eichel franchise or high elite? I know we changed McDavid to high franchise. So I really think Eichel's a franchise center. I really do. Yeah, I know he's not as good as McDavid, so maybe high elite for Eichel. But look at that. In the year that they just had 78 points, 60 games played. Like, I know it's not on the McDavid level, but I still feel like this guy is he's not generational, but he's a franchise center, obviously, now. Unfortunately, there's no generational rating in this. High franchise is the best you can get. So is this guy medium franchise or high elite? Tough to kind of say, I guess, but yeah. But honestly, his trade value should be maxed. I just kind of noticed that. Why the fuck is his trade value not maxed? I was thinking about that when we were looking at possible trades. So, all right, that's the thing. It's going to be actually kind of hard to make any trade like it might be in real life because, well, people don't want to give dudes up. So Byfield is pretty much the only untouchable in LA. You can go for like Turcotte, center playmaker, not bad or anything. But package, it's gonna be hard to get because they're not gonna want to give up many of those prospects, right? It'll be kind of hard to make any sort of rumored trades. You know what? I'm just gonna do this for fun. So if look all they're trying to give up. Kane, if he gets terminated. Oh, dude, they fucking keep underrating Hurdle. Come on, man. That's pretty rough. Oh, look, yeah, I think I did that to Carlson, actually. I can't remember. Like, did EA do that? That feels like I did that. I could be wrong. Nice. Anyway, so, like, a package that San Jose would be offering would be Merkley, who would technically have less value in that. Ferrara's untouchable. Okay, I don't think I fucked with them because I would have changed that. It's too easy to make trades happen in this game. Although they'll probably say like I'm not giving away enough value if I throw in like Merkley and like prospects in a. Probably because Bordelot isn't even. Yeah, Bordelot's not even in this game. Rip. Neither is. Well, Eklund doesn't exist yet. Anyway, so yeah, it might be pretty difficult because again, the landscape of the league is also gonna change by the time we get to all this stuff. I don't even know if we'll be able to send Risto to Philly because who says they get rid of Ghost Bear? All right, we're gonna try our best to sort of make things work here, but so package for Eichel probably it just involves prospects, and I don't have to stick with what's around the league or what's been kind of happening or what's been rumored, but you probably want to go with prospects 20 and under almost because that's what your team is turning into. Dahlin is 20 years old. He will be, what, 21? So 21 and under probably is what you're going for. Jyrki Haru. You got some other guys, right? But they're not going to be guys you build around. So really, like Cousins. Again, I think I'm still going to trade Middlestat probably at the draft. So Cousins, Dahlin. I think you hold on to Olofsson. I think he's going to be a really, really handy guy to have around. If he takes a lot of shots in this game, which I damn well hope he does, he's going to be a handy guy to keep around. If he doesn't, then I trade his ass. But either way, that's a guy you try to get some stat growth and maybe... He's on a good contract, too, because next year you get into a great extension, and that year, hopefully, you have some really good talent to be able to put around. I don't know, actually. Actually, it's going to be tough because we're still going to be moving pieces. Either way. Get him to an incredibly team-friendly deal, and then hopefully get him some stat growth in a couple years down the road. But yeah, basically Cousins, Dahlin, And really, for me, those are the only kind of untouchables. You hold on to Olofsson for a bit, Yoki Haru as well, Quinn, like some of these guys, yeah, you want to see what they become, but the only kind of, the guys that we're going to be building around is Dahlin and Middlestat. And Middlestat's not even the guy I say we build around. Or no, sorry, not Middlestat. Cousins. And again, this guy's more of a utility guy. I don't see this guy as the franchise, right? I see this guy as a top 6 guy, first, second liner, depending on how he grows, how he develops, how he produces. I don't like his shot a whole lot. I don't know how he's going to perform. Again, he might not even be untouchable. Probably Dahlin's the only untouchable one. And I hate that is he really two-way? Is this guy a Heiskanen type, or is he more of or of an offensive guy? I always kind of thought he was more offensive, but I could be wrong about that. You guys let me know. Should we change him to OFD, or do we leave him as 2AD? That's another thing I'm not 100% sure on. I feel like he's almost an OFD. But again, I don't watch Buffalo too much, so is he a Heiskanen type, or is he a Carlson type? Tough to say. But yeah, I hate medium elite. I can't believe they did that to him. He used to be high elite constantly. So in my opinion, he's either high elite or medium franchise, and that'll up his trade value a little bit more. Kind of reflect more at what it should be in real life, which is completely maxed out. Even with his injury. There's a lot of teams who want to get their hands on EICHEL. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at here. Cousins, Dahlin are the 2 untouchables. Olofsson, Yoki Haru are maybes. More so Olofsson because he's actually, in the NHL. But everyone else, we know Risto and Reinhardt are going to be traded. Middlestat will probably move. I'm just not too high on this guy in real life or this game. And yeah, other than that, dude, like, how's a team that's been drafting so heavily have this little trade value too? Dude, that's nuts. That's so fucking crazy. And oh yeah, Olmark. Now, okay, perfect. He actually doesn't have a ton of trade value. So this is a guy I'd probably make, like I said, give that extension to, and then ship him out. And I'll probably ship him out like as late as possible, like towards the deadline or something. But yeah, that also might be a bit tough with the Buffalo situation, but hopefully we'll be able to figure it out. I'll do that. Actually might do that like ASAP to try to. Again, I wanted to, but I also want to put these guys on the teams. If I can do it ASAP, I might with the extension. Just because they might be extending guys and stuff that they're likely going to do. I don't know. Try to figure out what's going to go on there. But, okay, so I think we've kind of, sort of sorted out the general plan of action here. And I need your guys' opinions on the stuff I mentioned. So we'll do a little recap of that. So first and foremost is this idea of kind of, changing the timeline, trying to make some moves that are there, but obviously you can't make all of them. Is this the right thing to do? And as well with the trade patterns, I'm of the mind where I want to wait and trade Eichel where he's going to be traded in real life with Risto and the other guy as well. I want to try to trade him to those teams. The question is, when do I do that? Do I try to do that now or wait on that? Kind of a tough call, especially with the cap situations. What can I really do? I'll do my best with it, but maybe if I can't do it, I can't do it. The main thing is to trade Eichel when he's supposed to be traded. And yeah, so that's my idea of it. Instead of just, blowing it up the stuff now and getting a bunch of picks. But hey, whatever. I can make other moves at the draft, I guess, if we want to. So let me know about that. Any sort of roster changes. Overall potential kind of shifts and stuff, especially when it comes to Eichel. I think we got to bump him up to high elite or medium franchise. You guys let me know which seems more fair for the guy. And yeah, my plan is build around Dahlin and Cousins with an asterisk. Everyone else is fair game. Because Buffalo has once again fucked up their rebuild. And they got to completely reset it. And get going all over again. I'm so sorry, Buffalo fans. That's the way she goes. So, alright guys, let me know what you think here. We are getting underway with this Buffalo Sabres franchise mode. Hit that like button, of course. And I'll see you guys in the next one. The landscape of this franchise will never be the same. We're taking them to glory.